Joining us now is Lisa Cook, professor of economics and international relations at Michigan State University, who also advised Joe Biden in the past. Great to have you here again, Lisa. Obviously, the Senate would really have to tee that up, and he'd have to win it to get it passed on day one. But we get the sentiment. Is that really the best idea at a time where we need our businesses more than ever to hire back workers and to pay them higher wages?
Well, yes, it is. Absolutely. What kinds of bills are we going to have? What are the American people going to have? What are we going to be able to do or need to do to fight this pandemic? And think about it, that's actually what we need to do, because we wouldn't be here talking about a recession and coming back if there were no pandemic. So what do we need to do? There are things that we need to pay for immediately. We need to pay for state and local governments to get back on their feet, because remember, in the Great Recession, that's where the lingering unemployment came from. It's from these losses associated with state and local government. And of course, this is what they are doing now, is laying off people left and right. And we need those services. We need what they provide. These are teachers. These are bus drivers. These are people who support all kinds of services that the government provides. They provide infrastructure. What else do we need? We need digital broadband. We need this in rural areas, because what we've been exposed to is people going back home, having to work from home, and they don't have the resources they need. So we need to provide a lot of things in the economy that COVID-19 actually dictates. So yes, we will be able to hire more workers if we're able to control this virus. There is not a national plan, a national coordinated plan that is effective, and there's got to be one put in place.
So it sounds like what you're saying is we need stimulus, like a lot of economists right now, and we need more, despite the fact that it's not moving in Congress. Are you surprised, Lisa, that it really has not shown up in any meaningful way in any of the major economic releases yet? The fact that those extra unemployment benefits ended a month and a half ago, as a lot of economists like yourself and others were worried about it having a detrimental impact on the economy.
Well, I think we can give it time. We certainly see, we still had over 800,000, close to 900,000 initial unemployment claims. There's still 30 million people still on some sort of unemployment assistance. It's showing up. That's how it's showing up. And what we also see is businesses opening and closing. We see people going from temporary layoff to permanent layoff. We see businesses going, especially small businesses, going from being temporarily closed to reopened to permanently closed. So I think it is showing up in the data. So you might be saying that it's not showing up in consistently in the data. Well, I think we will just wait. I mean, the evictions are coming. We know that there will be an eviction crisis if there is on September 30th, if there's no help in that regard. So I think it's just coming. It's just a matter of time. We aren't in the week when that would have been measured, for example, in the unemployment data. So those aren't the data that we got from the unemployment report, the last jobs day. So I think it's just a matter of time before we see it super clearly, but we can't wait for it to be shown super clearly. We know that there's going to be a crisis on September 30th. And I think it's unconscionable that we're not doing anything about it, and that the Senate was even able to pass a skinny stimulus bill.
Lisa, I wanted to go back to a potential corporate tax hike. I get the argument that there are various explanations for why a tax hike may be necessary, both for equality reasons and for raising funds to pay for the rising national debt. Why is a corporate tax hike the best bet? It has greater implications for competition with other countries where corporate tax rates are already lower. And also you could make a case that others, like perhaps capital gains tax on stocks specifically, would make more sense at a time when we've seen outsized gains there.
Well, I think a corporate tax, I think the capital gains tax might be something that might be considered. But I think that the corporate tax is the one that didn't give us the bump that it was supposed to give us. We did not see many more jobs added as a result of that tax cut. What we saw is rising inequality. What we saw is CEOs buying back stock. The American people did not, as a whole, benefit from this. and certainly not long-term. And what we need is long-term investments in the economy. That's through education. That's through rural broadband and digitization that is more broad-based. We need infrastructure upgrades that we didn't get before. We haven't had our infrastructure week yet.